it's hard, but you can't go around thinking of her 1,000 times when you think you see her face in the crowd. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Here's what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. No more shopping in the hall, only empty spaces. Brand new kitchens, black and white. I feel the house is dying, and I'm inside. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Here's what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't Every time I think of you, I just break down. I miss you more than I ever could Here's what she'd say. She said, don't cry. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Here's what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Oh no, don't cry for me, don't cry. She said, don't
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and thank you guys over on Patreon for requesting Don't Cry to open up the live stream. And as you can see right at the end of the video there, it said Persistence, which is the name of my album, which you can grab over at wingsofpegasus.com/music. Now, I was a little bit distracted at the end of that song because I realised that I hadn't done the poll yet for tonight's cover video, so I managed to do that just before the end of the video, probably why I stopped it a little bit late and we saw the name of the album come up. But the other thing is, typically when I went to type it in, rather than having the symbol that it normally has for the poll, it's now got a little plus and you get different options and it says engage with your audience. So yeah, on the very night that I forgot to set it up, it's now a different way of doing it, but it should be okay. It should now be in the live chat room, so you guys can vote for the cover that you want later in the live stream tonight. It's between Parisian Walkways and Miles Away, so have a click on that. Let me get you guys up on screen to see who is in the live chat room tonight. And we have Tammy and Charlie and Tom, Bev, Bonnie, Sam, Bob, Robert, Mark, Linda, Billy in there as well, Sam, Judy, Tom, Laurie and Charlie, Celeste as well, Teresa and Vince. Hello guys, thank you for joining me. And that was at quite a nice speed in the live chat room. Sometimes it goes through a little bit too quickly to get all of the names in there, but we did get quite a few. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. You know who you are. A massive shout out to these people at the bottom of the screen. I always say they are the foundation of everything that I do, and they certainly are. Just everything that I do on YouTube and, you know, all the videos that I've done in the past. And you'll see on some of the old cover videos that I have my list of patrons on there as well. So it really does show that they have been with me for a very long time. So thank you guys. Right. Keeping organised, let's see what we are going to be aiming for tonight on the likes goal. I think this might be something that, again, I haven't updated it, and I'll let you into a secret that I was actually working on the new real life story, the cartoon that I've been working on. I'm doing a new one of those, and I was doing that before the live stream. And the problem is when you get working on something, then you don't actually look at the clock, and then you realize that it's almost live stream time and you've got to set up the whole live stream. So the goal for tonight is 310, which means I need to do a quick edit on that, and hopefully now it will be as if nothing changed. And there we go, 310 at the top right hand side of your screen. That's what we're aiming for tonight in order to have a pick roulette next week, and we will be having a pick roulette tonight as well, so stay tuned for that. Let's get the likeometer up on screen. And we are at 158 likes so far, so thank you to those of you that have hit the thumbs up so far, and 162 of you, if you want to leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated to get us closer to our target tonight of 310. Right, I can see that there has been a donation from Patrick that's come in that super chat window, so thank you for that. But I will get through all of the donations as I always do. Let me get the donations tab up on screen. I always say you don't have to donate, of course. Just watching, joining in with the live stream is fantastic. Maybe hitting the thumbs up to help us get to the likes goal, that's great as well. But having a look into the, well, first of all, let me mention that 35 to 45% goes to YouTube through the paper, through the super chat window and through the PayPal window, and there's a PayPal link in the description below, by the way. Between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal, and I call the PayPal window kind of this little box that appears when we have a look at the PayPal donations, and you'll see on the other side the super chat window. That's where the super chat donations go through that live chat room, but they also stay on the screen for me to have a look at as well. But let me jump into the super chat window because we had some donations that came in early. And first of all, Jennifer donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message was, rest in peace, Jerry Lee Lewis, thanks Phil. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And yeah, this is following the sad news that Jerry Lee Lewis passed away, so thank you for mentioning that, Jennifer. Orlando donated $5 as well, thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, if Elvis is the king of rock and roll, Jerry Lee Lewis is the Duke. May he rest in peace. Spike the likes in his honor with a heart. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Orlando donated again straight after that with another $2 donation, saying, catch up crew for me. Enjoy the live stream all. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Orlando is backed up by Paul with a $2 donation. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, spike the likes all y'all. Orlando's psychic. And then we've got another donation from Paul for $5. Thank you again. And the message is, I will probably be on the Ketchup Crew. My twin granddaughter's birthdays today. Might be on later tonight. Spike those likes. Y'all have fun tonight. So thank you for that, Paul. And I hope that your twin granddaughters have a fantastic day. And I don't know how old they are, but it's either going to be one of those birthdays where they're too young to know that they're having a birthday, or they're old enough to know that they're having a birthday and it's a bit of a nightmare, or then they're a little bit older, so then birthdays are a little bit more understandable, or should I say understated, and not quite as crazy as they are when they're younger. But thank you for that, Paul. Right, and I think what I'm going to do is just refresh the screen, hoping that I didn't miss any on that changeover between going live and before we start the live stream. But while I just do that, I think we're okay. Patrick donated $20. Thank you for that, Patrick. And the message was, Hola, Phil. Another music question for you. What catches your attention more? A female who can sing low, Karen Carpenter, Angelina Jordan, or a female who sings really high, Olivia Newton-John, Mariah Carey? So thank you for that, Patrick. And I don't think that, I mean, when you listen to a singer, I don't think at any point do you really take in, first of all, where their range is and where their range sits, because it is more about the amount of notes that they cover vocally. So if somebody starts singing in the baritone range, but then they start to go up by an octave or an octave and a half, so they end the song, or hit a high note in the song where they're singing notes in the male tenor range, especially at the top end of that, say for example the G4 or the A4. So if they're hitting those kind of notes, but they started an octave lower, then it sounds like, oh wow, that's amazing, it's a really high note. It will have that impact on you. So if that singer started singing in the male tenor range, and maybe started at an E4, when they then hit a G4 and an A4, it's not as impressive. It would just sound like it's in the same place. And they probably sounded like they were straining a bit to start with, and it's not in their natural kind of range. So I think that when you hear a vocalist such as Mariah, who has the whistle register sometimes going on, it means that that's just going to be a standalone thing, and it almost seems like a bit of a party piece. But the good thing about Mariah is that she makes it musically relevant and doesn't just throw it in there and it's just one note. She can control it, so it is interesting from that point of view. And again, Olivia Newton-John was one of those who had that range to start a lot lower than she ended up, so you weren't really aware that she was singing a lot higher than usual or a lot higher than any other female vocalist. And then when you're talking about, Karen Carpenter having that lower vocal register, I think people don't really think, oh, she sang really low, but you appreciate her tone at the bottom end of her voice, and that's what sticks out, is the body of the sound rather than the notes. Because when she sang, a lot of people appreciated the body and the tone rather than people saying, oh wow, that's a female singing a particular note that she wouldn't normally sing, that might be in the male baritone range, for example, top end of, you'll have those kind of notes. And when you're thinking about a male singer in that baritone range, I don't think you're really ever thinking about particular notes. So when you're listening to a male vocalist or female vocalist, it's all about the journey they take you on, not really where they start, because nobody's listening thinking, oh, that note. And it even works out that sometimes a G4, which might not be super high for guys to sing, if you start lower than that, if you start an octave below that, at G3 or below, when you get to that G4, it's going to seem like a really high note for the performance. And everyone's going to listen to that, and nobody hears that note and then says in their head, oh, hang on, that's only a G4, so I'm not impressed. You're just listening to the journey of the song and the journey vocally. So that's why it's so important to make songs or sing songs that are in your range, and if they're not in your range, then transpose them to your range. So that, say for example, you have got a G4 that's your high note, or even an E4, it doesn't matter. Know where your high note is and bring everything down so that you can hit that high note, because there's nothing worse than trying to sing in somebody else's range and their high note is either too low for you or too high for you. It's all about transposing the keys. So thank you for that, Patrick. So I think the thing that catches my attention more is probably the journey, regardless of where the end notes or the high notes of the song are, but the amount of range that we go through. And ideally keeping it tonally consistent as well is an important part, because you don't want to be hitting a high note that sounds like, you know, you've suddenly changed the way you sing, or, you know, flipped into like a really weak falsetto sound. You still want to be able to hit those notes with a little bit of authority at the top end of your range. So yeah, those are the notes that really do stand out. But thank you for that, Patrick. Right, I am quickly going to jump into the PayPal window because we had a donation that came in there at 4:15 in the morning on Thursday. So thank you for that, Nancy. And it was a £41.24 donation, and the message was donation. So thank you for that, Nancy. And because it was a little while ago, let me just get organised to go to the next one, because Michael donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Michael. And that was on Thursday morning, again, about 11 o'clock. And moving forward, actually, there's a CD order that came through, and that was from Alvi. So thank you for ordering the album, a track of which I played at the beginning of the live stream. So thank you for picking up the album. Tammy donated £10 as well. And this was early this afternoon, 1:15. So thank you for this, Tammy. And the message is, "Hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 278,000 subscribers. Just wondering, when you get on stage to perform again, will you regroup with your old band, hire a new band, or perform by yourself?" So thank you for that, Tammy. And I mean, pretty much what has happened before is that I get in touch with my old bandmates because they know the songs, and it's a lot easier, a lot quicker just to get them. But if one of them can't make it, or a couple can't make it, then I just go down the session musician route and hire a couple of guys to learn the songs, and that's then what I do live. So I wouldn't just perform by myself, because I'm not really into, you know, playing to a backing track, or, you know, just having even an acoustic guitar, like an open mic thing, is not really my style. I just prefer to be kind of fully electric and play with a band. So yeah, that's what I would do if that comes up in the future for any more live performances. But thank you for that, Tammy, and for reminding me that we did pass 278,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and make sure you do that to get notified for all of the videos and the live streams, to make sure that you don't miss anything in the future. But yes, again, it's a huge number. We'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. At 278,000 isn't bad at all, and we'll just keep on keeping on. So thank you for reminding me, Tammy, and thank you guys for getting on the channel, leaving a comment, maybe a like, that's all good as well. But for tuning into these live streams, this is great as well, because it really helps me to get to know you guys. If this is your first live stream, introduce yourself into that live chat room so that I can see your username going through the live chat room. I've got it on the screen here, so I can see that unfortunately we've got the bots kicking off again, but Linda going through there, Neil moderating. Big shout out to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job. And let me get that off the screen and stop those people from cheering. So yeah, big shout out to the moderators. Neil just went through there. We have Susan and Dennis as well, and we have Laurie and Carla. You'll see them in that live chat room. They have a wrench next to their name, so you know that they are moderators, and they keep everything organized. And hopefully we won't get too many of those bots that have started up recently, but I think that's probably just because we're getting a few more people involved on the live streams, and with the subscriber count as well, starting to attract some unwanted attention. But hopefully it'll be okay, and a big shout out to those moderators. Right, let's keep on pushing forward with the live stream. And we have had another donation that has come through from Steve in the PayPal window. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, the donation is for £5, and the message is, who are a few singers you would love to back up? Any genre, any era? Thank you for that, Steve. Okay, right, I'm going to try and keep this as a short answer, because, you know, when you're talking about, any time. Obviously, I'd go back just to, sing behind Jimi Hendrix, even though he might not necessarily need a backing singer or backing singers, but I would just kind of shoehorn myself in there if at all possible. And probably, getting more up to date, Kip Winger, that'd be cool to sing some harmony lines behind Kip, because that's my preferred musical genre, kind of hard rock. And I don't know, maybe David Coverdale as well. I mean, Whitesnake, just to be on stage would be cool as well. So yeah, I just picked those three for the moment, but I mean, pretty much just most of the analysis videos that I do vocally looking at singers, I think just pretty much most of them I'd like to be in the background, just getting involved, applying a harmony line or two. It would be great fun. But yeah, thank you for that, Steve. That is one of those questions that I could spend years answering, but I am going to be strict tonight on the live stream. It's 23 minutes past midnight already here in the UK, so technically it is already Sunday morning, but Saturday night, most of the countries, I think, I don't really know whether maybe in Europe there are some countries that are going to be in front. There's got to be, but I think most of you guys are watching in your morning. I know that over in Australia it's morning time, so that's why I always say morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is where you are. Certainly evening time here in the UK, but maybe afternoon-ish in the USA, even though I know there are a few time zones over there. Thank you, Steve, for that donation. And we've had another donation that has donated £41.29, and the message is being awesome. So thank you for that, and they have requested to remain anonymous, so I will definitely keep that quiet and the donation name. So thank you for that. You know who you are for that, a very kind donation. So just scrolling up, because Maria has donated £1.65, and this is one that I can show up on screen because it came through, I think, at midnight. So we are 9 minutes up. I was going to say up to date. Technically it's not up to date because it was 9 minutes ago, but we are getting more up to date with the donation. So thank you for this, Maria. And the donation of £1.65 is I was going to say associated with, but accompanied by is what I meant to say. Accompanied by a message saying, "Hi Phil, can you explain what a hook is in a song? Thank you for all you do for us. Happy Halloween, everyone. Spike those likes, everyone." This is another thing, Halloween. I'm not really sure even when it is, but I think it's either Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure. So because of that, we might do a Halloween thing on Tuesday night. We might just do one randomly, even if it's not that day, or whether it's going to be, maybe it is a Monday. I'm not sure. But if it is a Monday, it means that when we go live, then, like I've just said, it's going to be Halloween for most people. So maybe we can do that on Tuesday night. Maybe you guys can let me know in the live chat room whether we should do a Halloween thing on Tuesday night's live stream. Oh no, Tuesday night, that means that it would be Wednesday here and Tuesday everywhere else, and Monday would be Halloween. And I think it might be that, Corey says Monday, Maria says October 31st. So yeah, maybe we can do it on Monday. Just let me know whether you guys want to do that or not, and we will see what happens. But if we've missed it, or if it's too late, then we're just going to have to deal with it without a Halloween live stream this year. We have done them over the last kind of 2 or 3 years, I think. So, we will have to have a look and see. So anyway, thank you, Maria, for that question. And I think I've answered this before. A hook is what it sounds like. So it's something that sticks in your head, something gets hooked in your brain and you can't get rid of it. And generally it's going to be anything musically that is going to be a particular melody that's repeated. So you can have, instrumental hooks, you can have vocal hooks, and Generally, it's just going to be the same notes repeated, but it's very catchy, and that's why it's called a hook. So thank you for that, Maria. And I'm just going to scroll up because Evan has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Evan. And the message is, appreciate all the analysis videos. They've helped me develop my ear, and by way of that, my voice. Keep up the good work. Thanks. So thank you for that, Evan. And great to hear that. That maybe it helps with singing and maybe people understanding their voices and kind of applying maybe techniques that they can hear other singers apply, and certainly seeing, I think, vibrato on the pitch monitoring software helps people to get an idea of the evenness that's required in order to get a note to sing. So I think having that visual representation does help sometimes. So thank you for that, Evan. And I think I saw go through the live chat room. It might have been Vince, I'm not sure, but somebody said it's never too late for a Halloween live stream. So we will see if that's the general consensus. Maybe you guys can let me know over on Patreon, so then we can maybe have one on Tuesday night. But thank you for that, Evan. And Bonnie has donated £12 and 34 pence. The old 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for that, Bonnie. And the message is, congratulations on 278,000. Keep on rocking. So thank you for that, Bonnie. And I will try my best to keep on rocking as much as possible. And Karen has donated £4 and 13 pence. And I think this is going to be a long message. So, hi Phil, what would you like to dress up as for Halloween that you'd like to give a go at? Years ago, I dressed up as your fave wrestler, the Ultimate Warrior, with face paint and streamers tied round my biceps. Some of us in chat agreed that your place of positivity is much better than date night laugh out loud. Rock on, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And oh, by the way, quick plug of the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. If you want to get over there, if you are a Facebook user, get involved with that group, you can join in and just continue the conversation over there after the live streams. Vince hosts. Again, amazing that I don't know how my brain is so quick to put the V of Vince at the beginning of hosts, because I haven't even thought of that word yet. Anyway, Vince hosts, or voasts, hints. Hints, voasts. Anyway, let's stop being silly and focus. Vince hosts the after party over on Facebook. So if you guys want to get involved and, you know, have conversations over there, and then you can do, and ideally putting the right letter at the beginning of each word that you are typing. Anyway, thank you for that, Karen. And who or what would I like to dress up as for Halloween? Good question, something that I haven't paid any time or spent any time thinking about. I don't know, it would have to be from an 80s movie. I know that it's probably a little bit overdone, so I wouldn't go for, even though I've probably got the look for Edward Scissorhands, because I could maybe like comb my hair in a special way. And I don't know, I'm going to throw this into the live chat room. What could I do with this hair for Halloween? Ideally, I need a character or someone who has this kind of hair that is a feasible character to dress up as. So you guys can let me know in the live chat room, because I, for some reason, literally can't think of anybody at the moment. So I'm going to keep a little bit of an eye out for any suggestions in the live chat room. Usually there's a bit of a delay from when I say things to when people see it, and then when people can comment in the live chat room. So I'm going to wait and just have a look. Okay, we'll jump into, I think, maybe looking at our likes at the moment, 258, and we're aiming for 310. So we are closing in on it. I can see the Get Some J says Mr. T. I'm not sure Mr. T had this kind of hair. Oh, what about Rocky Balboa? But I don't know. I don't think Rocky went quite as kind of 70s forward / 80s. He had a little bit more, taken off, but maybe could be possible. Put on a headband, Rocky Balboa, but I think I have to wait until my arms recovered so that I could get back in shape. And Alison says you should dress as David Cassidy. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I think I'd probably just look the same, and people would just think that I'm Phil from Wings of Pegasus, and I say, oh no, it's Phil, but dressing as David Cassidy, because he had this kind of hair, especially when, I think we're talking, more 90s, but again, not as 70s or 80s. I kind of tend to go for it with my hairstyle. Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, that from Hope is the King. That is a good one, because people often say to me about, having the look of Keanu Reeves. I don't think that's true, but some people do say that in the comment section. So it might be an easy one for me in order to dress up as, I mean, maybe John Wick as well, because I'm a little bit older. Maybe I could get away with that because Bill and Ted. But then again, there was a Bill and Ted movie that came out recently, so could get away with it even at the age I am now. So thank you. Jack Sparrow is another one. Again, maybe have to have a bit of hair straightening going on for that. And I saw somebody else said Rambo. Another good one. I think maybe Rambo. His hair was a little bit longer in that, but I'd have to start working out because I want to at least have an authentic Rambo look about myself at the moment. Having almost, I was going to say almost, but I think it actually is a year off from exercising is definitely quite difficult at the moment, because I really want to get back into exercising, but I know that I shouldn't, and I just got to have patience and wait till at least next year, 2023, to maybe start doing anything. But a little bit frustrating, but that's just the way it is, as I now know with tendon injuries. Right. Anyway, 272 likes at the moment. So thank you guys for all of those thumbs up. So 2037. I was trying to do the maths there quickly in my head. Is it 37? It might be. We're aiming for 310. So however many more we need, if you guys can hit that thumbs up in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated to get us up to 310 to have a pick roulette next week. We will be having one of those later on. And I can see Dublin's going through saying, Phil, why you not fat? ? And, well, I don't eat enough. Quite simply put. Generally, because I know about nutrition as well, I think it's quite a simple equation when you know about, saturated fat, unsaturated fat, all this kind of stuff. I think a lot of people don't realise what they're eating in terms of what's making up the calories of what they're eating. So if you can replace saturated fat for unsaturated fats, then that's a good move. But I think just not eating too much. Like, for example, today for breakfast I had porridge, and not very much porridge, but I had porridge with strawberries and blueberries in. So I was kind of getting my fruit in early doors. And then I had a cup of tea with a couple of chocolate bars. They're very small chocolate bars, that's why I had two of them. And then for dinner, I had lasagna. And I say, I don't have lunch. I do have, this is just the way that my body clock is. So I have dinner, which most people would call lunch, but I have my dinner because it's just my main meal, and that was lasagna. And again, that wasn't too much, probably like maybe 400, 500 calories. So I'd say that with the porridge, maybe 200 or 300 calories, still under 1,000 calories. And then later on tonight, I'll have maybe a cereal and maybe some peanuts as well, which I do like to have because of the, the protein content, but they are unsaturated fats rather than saturated. So I can have some peanuts, have just a cereal, and I think that'll take me up to about 1,000, maybe a little bit more. So when I break it all down, and I always actually have a protein shake just with milk before I go to bed, because know that generally everybody doesn't have enough protein every day, and I just like to boost it at the end of the day, regardless of what I've had throughout the day, because I'm not working out at the moment, which means that I'm not having lean meats and all those kinds of things. But I do like to try and keep as much muscle density as possible, so I just make sure that I have a bit of protein in there at the end of the day in order to have that released overnight if my body requires it. So yeah, I'd say that probably 1500 calories is fine enough for me, and I know that my body probably uses around 1300, something like that. So in a nutshell, that's why I don't put on weight now, because yeah, I don't eat a lot, and I only really eat when I'm hungry, and I have generally one fast food a week, but I think that's more like once a month at the moment, just because I'm not I'm just not having a lot of fast food, and that's just from being busy. I think just easier just to have something that I can do quickly at home, either, you know, in the microwave, or, you know, maybe like scrambled egg on toast. That's what I had yesterday. So yeah, that's why. Anyway, I think once you understand the equation and you know how many calories your body burns a day, and then how many you take in, if you take in less than you burn, then obviously you're going to be losing weight. If you take in exactly the amount that you burn every day, then you're going to be maintaining your weight. If you take more than you burn, then you're going to be putting on weight. But if you're taking in, like for me, maybe 200 calories more than you burn every day, you're not going to get fat quickly doing that. You've got to have like 500, or, you know, if you have, say for example, 2,500 calories you might be eating every day, which by the way actually is the recommended daily intake here in the UK, which to me is crazy, because I think most people are therefore eating over 1,000 more calories than they need. And if you're eating 1,000 calories every day that you don't need or you don't use up, over a week, that's 7,000 calories, which is 2,800 calories a month. So you're having like 2 pizzas every month. You're putting that into your body that it's not using, that it's storing. And yeah, you can imagine just trying to store 2 pizzas somewhere on you, and the saturated fat from that. So that's why, yeah, I think a lot of people don't really understand the relationship and why they put on weight. And I think once you understand, yeah, just overeating a little bit, you might find that, like me, some days are more active than others. So I might burn 1,500 calories a day just because I've moved around a lot more, or I've been out, you know, I've been walking around. So yeah, I think probably I'm just breaking even. That's why I'm not putting on weight. Anyway, let's get away from the nutrition and talking about eating, because I am quite hungry. I think I had my lasagna at about 7. So we are talking about, what, 5 hours, pushing on to 6 hours ago. So we start to get a little bit hungry during these live streams. Anyway, I think I'm overdue some fast food, thinking about it. Right, let's get back to the live stream, getting organised and having a look in that live chat room. I can see Corey's going through just pictures of what, pizza, burgers and fries, or chips as we call them here in the UK. But we can also see that we're at 294 likes, so we're looking for 16 more likes. If you're in that live chat room and you haven't hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated if you could do that. Right, another reason, and I will get into the donations and that super chat window in a second, another reason why I was a little bit late with setting up everything for this live stream is because I did see over on Patreon some people were saying about requesting a little jam, or me playing my guitar at the end of the live stream, because I did that on the last live stream to give you guys an opportunity to type I agree, and that's something that we do right at the end of the live streams. So I might do that at the end. I was trying to do a quick loop of just a backing track, but of course with me, I was playing the guitar, doing a loop, and I thought, right, okay, that's fine. But then I thought, I should probably have some drums on there. So then I started recording some drums. And then I thought, I should probably have some bass on there as well. So I started overrunning, getting bass down and doing this backing track. I'm not sure whether it's going to work though. So we can maybe have an experiment at the end of the live stream to see we might not even need some extra time for the I agrees, because we might hit the target quite early tonight. It looks like we're looking for 8 more people to hit the thumbs up. So looking into that live chat room, if you haven't done that yet, that would be much appreciated. Now, we have had some donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for these. Diana donated $2 and is the guy saying cool. So thank you for that, and I've never figured out what he's doing with his hands, but maybe it's some rock horns. I do not know. It's a little bit small for me to see on my screen, but thank you for that, Diana. And Bill donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Bill. And the message is, Phil, how do you rate yourself as a singer? Do you like the sound of your voice when you play it back, or does it still seem odd being a guitar player first? So thank you for that, Bill. And I think for me, vocally, because I learned to sing, I spent a lot of time listening to my voice back, and I think, like most people, not really liking it. But then eventually, the more you practice, the more you work at it, then you start to notice how your voice improves. And for me, it was more a case of being able to now hit pitches more accurately. That's something that I placed a lot of emphasis on, because I noticed that a lot of singers were, accurate pitch-wise, even if they didn't have vibrato in their voice. And those singers that had voices that didn't have vibrato, they were always really accurate pitch-wise. So I knew that, right, if I couldn't figure out how to do vibrato, at least I can get the notes close to where they should be. So that's what I focused on, and then I started working at vibrato as well, because I just like the sound of it, and I think it's something that I tend to lean towards as a preference to singers that I like to listen to. They have vibrato in their voices. So and I'd say generally a vibrato that isn't too wide, but it's not too shallow. It's obviously subjective. Everybody has a different opinion about it, but I like to have it, I'd say, probably a little bit more contemporary than, going really heavy with the vibrato like you would tend to get in, heavier genres like, heavy metal. And I think hard rock tends to be a subtler vibrato than throwing in that wider vibrato that starts to sound, especially with, some heavy metal bands who have, singers who do have a classical sound to their voice because of the nature of that vibrato being so wide. But yeah, that's not something that I do, but, still, we have analysed singers like that on the channel, and it is an impressive and certainly a standalone way of applying that vibrato. But yeah, for me, I then worked at vibrato, and therefore I started to listen to it back and thought, oh, it sounds better to me with vibrato, so I'll keep on working at that. As for rating myself, I don't rate myself as a singer or a guitar player. I don't think anyone can rate themselves, because it's impossible, because it's I think the only thing you can do is listen to other people's opinions, and if they think that you sing in an okay way, then that's good enough for me. And if people think that I play guitar in an okay way, then that's fine for me as well. I think the most important thing is just to play the guitar and sing the way that you do, and try and don't do it like anybody else. Otherwise, you'll tend to turn into a bit of a, almost like a copy of that artist, or like a cover band of a particular band that you like. So I think be influenced by other musicians and bands, but just apply it to your own sound. And that's why, really, myself, I haven't spent a lot of time trying to, over push my vocal, or, have too much rasp in my sound, because I think that it would take away from my natural tone that, I produce. Because I think if I started to put more rasp in the sound, it'll start to sound like other singers. But I'd rather just kind of use what I've got, and it's a safer option for me not to damage my voice and do anything, technique-wise that might be bad. So, yes, I just think just sing the way that you do, and you will therefore sound unique. But thank you for that, Bill. And Patrick donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Patrick. The message is also Happy Day of the Dead for all who celebrate it like I do on Monday and Tuesday. So thank you for that, Patrick. And Karen donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, Phil, I think you'd make a great dark-haired Ultimate Warrior, or maybe one of the KISS members, of course, in face paint. Happy Halloween, Karen. So thank you for that. Again, good option there. I've got the hair for KISS. So yeah, a good one. And face paint. So it would probably fall more into the Halloween spirit and idea. But thank you for that, Karen. And Bob donated $5 as well. So thank you for that, Bob. And the message is, in an overall musical context, who is superior, Michael Jackson or Elvis Presley, and why? So thank you for that, Bob. And I can't really rate any musicians. And this is the thing about guitar players as well, is that everybody values different things more than other people. Say, for example, you love to hear an acoustic guitarist who, like Mike Dawes, who was on the channel recently, who, you know, likes to tap onto the guitar using a lot of tapping technique and does counter melodies all the time with, you know, the left hand tapping on chord shapes with the right hand. He uses the guitar as a percussive element as well, striking the body of the guitar. If you're really into that, you will like Mike's playing above other players who don't do that. Say that there's a blues guitarist who doesn't do any of that, but other people really like that guitarist. That's why you can't really rate guitar players, because it's just subjective, and it's really difficult to, you know, have or place any more emphasis on one technique than another technique, because, you know, there'll be some great guitarists, like, say for example, I'm trying to think of, let's just go with Eric Clapton as a blues guitarist who is playing his way, and then you've got Mike who plays his way. If you were to try and swap those over, then Mike can't do what Eric does, Eric can't do what Mike does, and that's just a good example of just doing your own thing and just playing the guitar your own way and playing it the way that feeds your soul as a musician and as an artist, an overall artist. So plenty of guitarists can do things with their guitar that other guitarists can't do with theirs, but that's the point, that you just do what you do. So you can't really equate one against the other. When we're talking about vocalists, I've said before that if there's a vocalist who also plays an instrument or plays an instrument to a high level, for me, that's almost like another heading that you put them under. Like if you're starting to rank guitarists, for example, Eric Clapton sings as well. So you have to think, right, you can't compare guitarists to Eric Clapton who only play guitar, because they've spent all of their time only playing the guitar. They haven't had to work at singing. And as I know, and as everybody who has learned to sing knows, it's another thing. You've got to dedicate your life pretty much to singing. You've got to forget your guitar practice, because if you can't sing, it's going to take a hell of a lot of time, a hell of a lot of hours for you to be able to sing to a level that is then acceptable and, you know, treated the same way that other singers are treated who have been singing since the age of, 7 or 8, So that's it. You've got to kind of put that into the equation. But anyway, getting to Michael Jackson or Elvis Presley. Okay, what people will always argue is Michael Jackson wrote songs. So he was an original artist, which means that he's, selling his own songs. He's being creative, all these kinds of things that you can put into, Michael Jackson's corner. You've then got Elvis Presley, who didn't write any songs, only did covers. And this is something that I joke about, saying that I've sold more original albums than Elvis, which is factually correct. But Elvis just did covers. But it's how he did the covers. That's the thing that people will say, that Elvis had a voice that was 1 in a million, maybe, even 1 in a lot more than that. But that was his voice and the way that he could communicate, showmanship, all of these different things that you would have with Elvis Presley. And again, you could say, okay, Michael Jackson, he could dance. He spent a lot of time working on his dance routines and putting that together. So for people that value dancing then they might go for Michael Jackson. People that really love a totally unique cover version of a song will go for Elvis. They'll also go for, breaking the mold and pushing the boundaries. Again, you could say that Elvis did that. And would Michael Jackson have had the same ability, or should I say the same open road and just free form nature of dancing if Elvis hadn't been that way inclined for pushing the boundaries of showmanship on stage? So again, and I know that there have been other people before Elvis that were pushing the boundaries, but I think Elvis was one of those. I don't think anybody's going to argue about getting exposure and putting it in front of a lot of people and bringing it to the mainstream audience, across the world. He did that. So again, it's very difficult. So I don't think you can say anyone's superior, but I think a lot of people would say, or maybe value, original compositions over doing covers of songs, but that's just down to you and what you like. And other people would argue that, without the original artist in the first place, then there would be no covers for other people to perform. So you can look at it that way. Everybody's different. So it's up to you. In that live chat room, you guys know what you prefer. And, some people might see Michael Jackson as too mainstream or too, I don't know, too manufactured maybe. I don't know. It is difficult. So this is just the thing. I'm not going to pick one or the other. I'm just going to list maybe reasons as for why people see things differently. But anyway, thank you for that, Bob. Right. We are going to be pushing on with the live stream. We need to push on with the cover for tonight because it looks like we are going to have Miles Away, I think it said, in that poll. And I'm just going to have a quick look into that live chat room because it's going to be going through. It is Miles Away that has 51% of the vote. So only just won the vote. Thank you guys for voting. We're going to be jumping into this Miles Away by Winger, of course. And I do give a little intro to the video before it plays. So I'm going to play this and then we'll jump into a couple of pictures and then the pick roulette. So I hope you guys enjoy this one and I'll see you after. Rock! Okay, so quick introduction to this next video. This is more of a tribute video to Kip Winger, as I've been to see Kip in London and with his band Winger numerous times, and once I even went to France just to watch Winger. So this is my tribute, and it's me playing and singing Miles Away, and I hope you like it. See you later. Rock!
So this is love, also you tell me, as you're walking out the door. Months go by and I know for certain it's not the love I'm looking for. Sometimes, just for a moment, I reach out and hope you're still there. Miles away, no, you're never turning back. I just can't wait anymore. Miles away, nothing left but what we had, just when I needed you most.
And there we have it. That was my version of Miles Away by Winger. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for voting for it tonight. And to my patrons over at patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus for requesting it in the first place. And just in case you want to get involved yourselves, that is the site. Well, it would be the site if if I put it in front of the live chat room and the PayPal donations. So I don't want to get rid of you guys in the live chat room, but just take my word for it. It says patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. So let me get rid of that. Let me see if the website comes up. Okay, the website comes up in front of the live chat room, so it must just be a layer issue in my software. Doesn't matter. If you want to get involved over on Patreon, then you can do. That's where I am every evening, and my update on Thursday, for some reason it didn't go through, and I always do an update. Every night. I release the videos every night on Patreon as well, but I do an update on a Monday and a Thursday because those are admin days for me, just catching up with emails and all that kind of stuff and CD orders. And I did an update on Thursday. I typed it all out and then sent it, but it didn't actually go through. So I then did it the next day. So for those of you that might have worried or thought, what am I up to? Because I never miss a post or never missed a post on Patreon. It's just, a technology issue. So everything's normal, everything's fine. And let's get organized for the pictures, because we have a couple, I think, that we're going to be looking at. And I think they are both of the same person. It's going to be Vince. Let's get Vince up on screen, because here is Vince, and you can see he's very much just laying down some sweet bass lines during a sound check, most likely. So thank you, Vince, for uploading that picture. And Vince hosts the after party over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page on Facebook, if you are a Facebook user, so you can head over there and get involved. So there we have it in the sound check, and here we have it now for the performance. And yes, as Vince said, I think in his message, a very nice venue indeed. So thank you, Vince, for uploading those pictures. Right, let's get the background off the screen, because we are going to be jumping into tonight's pick roulette. And don't start typing anything in the live chat room for next week's pick roulette, because you have to wait till after this, and then all hell will break loose in the live chat room. But wait for this one. We're going to be jumping into the pick roulette. Good luck, everybody. I'll pick a top tip at random, maybe. If somebody wants to be a top tip in the live chat room, let me know, and I'll keep an eye on that chat room to pick anybody for the pick roulette. But I can't see anybody saying anything yet. Let's jump into it, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen, and there it is. And D Emma 1972 says pick me. Okay, D Emma 1972? I'm not sure. I think her username's disappeared. Right, I'm just gonna hopefully get the right username. D Emma 1972 is the top tip for tonight. If this is your first pick roulette, we have the names on the wheel here. If we land on a name, it means that somebody's going away with the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. If we land on these darker segments, then we have a t-shirt roulette, and somebody goes away with a signed, custom-made Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. So let's give the wheel a spin and see who's going to win. I'm maintaining my 0% record of picking the top tip as well, who's actually gone on to win. It's never happened. But I think it was maybe Anna was the closest ever within one segment that we were just over the top tip, and it just went into the next section. But here we go. DM is the top tip for tonight. And look at that. So close, yet so far. We are continuing. It's going on. Is it going to be Arden that's going to be maybe winning? And it is Arden, who is the winner tonight. So congratulations to you. if you can let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that she can get everything she needs from you to get the signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent to you. And commiserations, everybody else in that live chat room. If you want to double your chances of winning, tune in to the Tuesday night live streams as well as the Saturday night live streams. And yeah, you'll have more chance of winning because we do have a pick roulette whenever we hit the target on both of those streams. And it's the same time, same place, always 12 midnight. And I mean, it's almost, I guess, back to what, Greenwich Mean Time rather than British Summertime. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to check that. But I know that the clocks change at some point. And what is the date today? It's the 30th. Do they change at the end of October? I don't know. I'm going to have to check this. Does anybody know in the UK whether the clocks change or not? Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Whether it's the end of the month. I've got this sneaking suspicion it's the end of this month. But anyway, Arden, congratulations to you. I'll have to check after the live stream as to my timings and what's actually going to go on here in the UK. But yeah, as I said, double your chances to win by tuning into both of the live streams. So let's get everything organised again. Get that off the screen and get that off the screen as well. I think we're now back to normal. So if you guys want to enter in for next week's pick roulette, because we have hit the likes goal, then make sure that you type in the live chat room, which I'm going to go into now. I'm going to type at Carla and make sure that I do it correctly. Carla Murray, like that, and then type I agree with an exclamation mark like that. So hopefully that is all working and should be fine. Let me just make a note of that. Has that yeah, it has gone through. So if this is your first live stream and you don't know how to get your name on next week's pick roulette wheel, just wait and have a look in the live chat room, because you'll be able to just do what everyone's doing here and you'll get your name on that wheel next week. And you'll see everybody going through saying, I agree. So now this was something that, yeah, was requested on Patreon while people were entering in for the pick roulette, whether we'd have any kind of guitar jam type thing. But I will just go over to the PayPal window because we had another donation in there. So thank you for, where is it? Is it here? Here we go. So it's Sue who has donated £15. Thank you for that, Sue. And that is a straight up donation. So thank you for that. And right, I can see, oh, Bob has gone in there with a $2 donation. Thank you for that, Bob. And the message is, round two, was Trini Lopez underrated in any way? So thank you for that, Bob. And I'm trying to think whether I have a Trini Lopez video or analysis video on my channel. And I can't remember actually if I have or not. So, yeah. I'm not sure. But as for being underrated, I think, I don't know. I mean, I think Trini Lopez, certainly, I mean, here in the UK, I think that we don't get a lot of coverage from a lot of artists, actually, from the USA, who aren't necessarily, you know, that well known here in the UK, but are quite well known over in the USA. And I think, well, Trini Lopez is certainly one of those, speaking from a UK point of view. But over in the USA, I don't really know whether he's kind of underrated or lesser known. I think that whenever people say about an artist being underrated, it tends to be the case that they're kind of not underrated by musicians and people that might play the guitar, or they might sing, so they can appreciate what that person is doing on their guitar or vocally, so they can listen to a particular artist and rate them and understand, oh yeah, you know, they're at that particular level that is very impressive. But then whether they get the exposure or are as well known as they should be, that's the question really, whether that particular person was known well enough for, their vocals, but their guitar playing as well. So that's something that I would say, yeah, in the UK, certainly you can make an argument for that, not being as well known. But I don't know how it is over in the USA. I can only really speak from my own point of view here. But yeah, certainly I say that Trini Lopez would probably fall under that, heading, but of being, I think, not underrated among musicians, but maybe, underappreciated, or maybe not getting as much coverage here in the UK. But I can only really speak from where I am. So thank you for that, Bob. And yeah, I'm going to have to look into whether I have done an analysis video. If I have, it would have been quite a while ago. So yeah, I mean, the best way is to just do a search. Maybe I can do a search on my channel. I don't know whether I can do or not. I think I probably have to type it in. Because yeah, I know that he had a version of If I Had a Hammer, I think. So yeah, I know that I have done a Pete Seeger video, and I might have actually done one on If I Had a Hammer. So maybe that's why I'm getting a little bit confused as to whether I've done an analysis video or not on Trini Lopez. So I don't think there's a way that I can kind of type it in and do it without risking the whole live stream freezing, because I'm loading too many things at once. So yeah, we will have to do that another time. But if you just type in, British guitarist analysis or Wings of Pegasus analysis and Trini Lopez, then you might be able to find it. And I'll have to do that after this live stream just to find out. But somebody can let me know. It would have been a while ago if it is, because I generally have enough memory for maybe the last year's worth of analysis videos, because there are so many. But yeah, pretty much I don't know whether I can go that far back with my memory. But thank you for that donation, Bob. Right. Now, I mean, we're 10 past 1 here. So, guys, if you want to enter in for next week's Pick Roulette, make sure you type I agree in that live chat room. I'm just having a look if there are any in there. What I will do is, actually, I don't know if this is even going to work, but we can use it as an experiment, just a 5-minute experiment at the end of this video to see if you can hear this backing track that I was putting together. And I'm actually going to play this from Logic Pro 10, my digital audio workstation, my DAW, as it's referred to, just to see if you guys can hear it. So that was a quick bit of the backing track. The other thing is, I don't know whether there's going to be a delay with me playing, and I can't even hear the backing track. So can you guys hear that? Maybe. Oh, and Donalia said, yes, you did a Trini Lopez analysis. Great. So thank you for letting me know. So yeah, you guys can check out an analysis video on Trini Lopez if you want to. If you want to, get a vibe as to, what he's all about. So thank you. Oh, Jennifer says, we hear it. Yes, I hear it. So I don't know whether by turning up the volume here, you might now get a bit of an echo on my voice. Hopefully that's not happening, or maybe it is. But I'm going to have a reach over to the guitar to see what I've got plugged in. And it's the gem. So this is going to be a bit of... I'm just kind of cracking everything that's going off. So I'm going to have a look into the live chat room, and we'll just play for a little bit. I think I'm just waiting to see if any more I agrees go through, because yeah, that would be the last chance. We've probably got a few minutes left of the live stream because it's almost 1:15 in the evening. Yeah, so the echo that you can hear isn't because I'm now or maybe because I'm in a stadium. It's because I need to hear what's going on, and there might be a delay, there might not. So let's see what happens. So this is officially the I agree segment to get you guys into, and I can see Judy P's going through saying I agree. So I'm just going to have a look in there, and here we go. Pandemic Pat. Pandemic Pat says, I agree. I don't know if there's any delay going on with the guitar. I'm attempting to kind of play, you know. So I think we're pretty much okay for the I agrees. Pretty much. I'm going to leave maybe a few seconds. Okay, oh, Tom says backing track is nice, but up the lead on this. So yeah, I don't know whether the guitar's loud enough or not. This is totally random and the first time that we're trying to do anything like this. So, I don't know whether this is... Is this about... Can you hear this or not? And there we go. We're going to stop because we have now gone over the end of the live stream. But I think hopefully, let me turn this down to get rid of the echo. Hopefully you guys can hear that. It's all a little bit random as to, you know, just doing this for the first time because I've got it running through another program, and whether there's going to be any kind of delay from when I'm playing to when you guys hear it to then hearing the backing going on. So lots of variables going on, but hopefully and yeah, Charlie says no change in chords. So this is something that I quickly did before we went live. So I haven't spent any time. I literally just sat down and went. I just kind of just put out a few chords. in order to have something to play over the top of. And then I decided, oh, I should probably put some bass on there. And then I thought, oh, I should quickly put some drums. Hence why the beginning of this live stream, I hadn't set up the poll, the vote for the cover video, because I was doing this, just getting down something quickly. But I'm sure that, yeah, if I had more time, then I could put together something that wasn't just a loop of the same chords kind of over and over again. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight and also entering in for the Pick Roulette next week. Hopefully you guys had enough opportunity to type I agree. We're going to be doing another video tomorrow night, of course, analysis-wise, and another live stream on Tuesday night. Quick shout out to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Vince hosts the after party over there, so you guys can get involved if you want to after this live stream and continue the conversation. So thank you guys for tuning in and have a great rest of the weekend. As I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live in. But I'll see you at tomorrow night's analysis video, and huge shout out to the moderators as well for doing such a fantastic job throughout these live streams. But I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!